Hello, thank you for listening. This is the near-death experience of Donna, and this experience occurred on February 18th of 2018 and was documented on March 3rd of 2018, open quote. Everything in my life has culminated to a point where other options were not working for me. I found an outdoor extension cord and tied it to the opposite side of the door located upstairs. There was only the master bedroom upstairs, which is what I utilized. I was hysterical and crying, believing that I had no other option. I was hoping it would not be too painful. I wrapped the cord around my neck and tied it in the back. I started going down the steps one by one and felt the tightness begin around my neck. It wasn't too loose, and it wasn't very tight. I leaned back on the steps behind me and went down another step. One moment I was on the steps, the next moment I found myself in a dimly lit tunnel. I could see the light at the very end, but it was not bright. I remember thinking I needed to walk in that direction. As I began to walk, I noticed there were other people walking in the same direction. It's as if I knew they were people, but I could not see faces. They appeared as only silhouettes. They were shadow-like, but somehow I knew they were other people like myself. It wasn't overly crowded, but there were quite a few of us there. I remember feeling the need to walk forward and stay with the other people. It was devoid of emotion. I didn't have feelings of either happiness or sadness. I was just going through the motions of what I needed to do, which was to walk forward. I could feel my legs moving underneath me, but I never looked down or back. No words were spoken among those of us who were there. I recall looking around, trying to identify others in my proximity. I don't recall coldness or heat at all. I just remember the necessity to continue to walk towards the dim light. First, I remember feeling as if I were being pulled back to my body. When I actually returned, it felt as though I was slammed back in my body so hard that it was actually very painful. It was like I had fallen. As I opened my eyes, I saw my husband standing over me screaming, "What are you doing?" I slowly and sleepily only opened my eyes and had no clue where I was. I began mumbling, "Where am I? Where am I?" I tried standing up, but my calves hurt so badly that I could not stand. The first quarter of my tongue was completely numb. I was extremely nauseated, weak, and exhausted. When I finally realized where I was and what had happened, I could hardly believe how quickly it came about, but more importantly, how quickly the experience had occurred. I remember thinking that maybe I had had a dream, but I had completely stopped breathing, and I knew it was not a dream. End quote. Donna, thank you for sharing that. Basically, less than a month after it happened, I'm sure that I don't know. I'm not sure of anything. Let's see if we have some questions here. Was there an associated life-threatening event? Answer: yes. Suicide attempt. Question: how do you consider the content of your experience? Answer: neither pleasant nor distressing. Question: comparing your highest level of consciousness to every day. Answer: my consciousness and alertness seem to be a combination of mine in addition to those around me. It is as if we were communicating without speaking. Probably the people in the tunnel. Question: at what time during the experience were you at your highest level of consciousness? Answer: I was at my highest level seconds before I slammed back into my body. Question: did time seem to speed up or slow down? Answer: it felt as though it took a very long time for me to walk the distance that I did. At the same time, somehow I knew or thought time was sped up. Comparing your vision. Answer: I knew without even specifically looking at the others there that I would not be able to see their faces or who they were. Comparing your hearing. Answer: I do not recall hearing anything while there. In fact, nobody was talking to one another, yet we all seemed to have a culminating knowledge that we needed to walk forward. Question, did you pass into or through a tunnel? Answer, yes. The tunnel was dark, but not so dark that I could not see around me. It was dimly lit. I don't recall the ground, but it seemed as if it were dirt or earth that was flat. The part I was permitted to see of the tunnel was as if it were made out of concrete and had been carved out. Wow. Question, did you see an unearthly light? Answer, yes. The light at the end of the tunnel was not right at all. It seemed as though it were a night light someone left on in the event they needed to see their way through this tunnel. The tunnel night light. Question, did you seem to enter some other unearthly world? Answer, the unfamiliar and strange channel I was in seemed as if it were part of Earth. However, it wasn't a part of Earth that physical humans can access. Question, what emotions did you feel during the experience? Answer, as bizarre as it seems, I don't recall having any emotions at all. I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. Yet, I was not worried or concerned either. It's difficult to explain. It was almost as if I was completing a mindless task, such as folding towels. Only here, I mindlessly completed the task of walking forward. I knew or felt there was something else going on. Question, what was your religion prior to your experience? Answer, Christian, other Christian raised as Baptist, but practiced non-denominational since adulthood. Question, have your religious practices changed since your experience? Answer, no. Question, what is your religion now? Answer, Christian. Question, did your experience include features consistent with your earthly beliefs? Answer, entirely inconsistent. Beliefs that I held prior to this experience consisted those who were absent from their body were present with the Lord. I never imagined a tunnel or the lack of feelings that I had during this experience. And I have to say, I believe that the others who were walking had also committed suicide. I don't know why I believe that or think that or even know that. Question. During your experience, did you gain information about universal connection or oneness? Answer, yes. There seemed to be the unification of thoughts and or communication. Question, during your experience, did you gain information about an afterlife? Answer, an afterlife definitely exists. I cannot specifically state that it was verbally inferred. I do recall somehow knowing that I had to get to the end of the tunnel to eventually get to where I needed to be. Question, what life changes occurred in your life after your experience? Answer, slight changes in my life. Question, have your relationships changed specifically because of your experience? Answer, yes. I don't feel as pressured to be right all the time. Those things seem to matter less to me now than before. Disagreements have reduced significantly. I'm glad to hear that, Donna. Question, was the experience difficult to express in words? Answer, yes. Attempting to describe seeing the others there, the consistency of what the tunnel was made of, and the feeling when I came back into my body was extremely difficult to put into words. Question, how accurately do you remember the experience? Answer, I genuinely don't recall my thought process while preparing to do this, and I don't recall much about the experience when I came back. I vividly recall everything that happened while I was there. It's as if it were etched in my brain. Question, do you have any psychic, non-ordinary, or other special gifts after your experience that you did not have before the experience? Answer, yes. It's difficult to explain. It's almost as though I can feel what other people are feeling, as if I can sense their sadness, anger, and jealousy. Question, are there one or several parts of your experience that are especially meaningful or significant to you? Answer, the only part of my experience that may be significant is the fact that I felt all the people who had taken their lives were going through that process. Question, have you ever shared this experience with others? Answer, yes, a few hours. Question, did you have any knowledge of NDEs prior to your experience? Answer, yes, I read a book called Heaven is for Real. My knowledge after reading that book did not affect my experience at all. Question, what do you believe about the reality of your experience? Answer, experience was definitely real. At first, I believed it was a dream. As I came to my senses, I realized that it was not a dream. When I was told I was not breathing, I knew that it was real. Question, is there anything else you would like to add about your experience? Answer, because I was not raised Catholic and had no knowledge of their beliefs, I somewhat feel that there may be a purgatory. If someone takes their life, it's as if the scales have to be weighted in order to find out their final destination. I can't describe how I know this. And questions, end quotes, tough ones, tough ones. Donna, thinking about you, and thank you for sharing that. And out there, I appreciate you listening, and I hope you have a great day.